Hi, I'm David. I own and operate Country Whatnot Gardens here outside of Rochester, Indiana, which is about an hour south of the Michigan state line. I grow 25 different species and varieties of bamboo and other plants along with them. And right now we're going to be taking a look at some of those other plants. We had negative 8.86 degrees Fahrenheit back in mid-January, and some of the plants that were new, just set in last spring, I did mulch with some straw, especially if they were a little bit marginal in cold hardiness for my zone. And we're going to take a look at how they did because they're all uncovered now. Down here we have a liriope. Common name is a lily turf. And this is a very, very nicely variegated variety. It's looking a little bit ragged from winter. It's to be expected. This variety is called Silver Dragon, Guinru. And you can see it came through all right. There's the straw. And then if we take a walk down this way, there is another very beautiful variety of liriope called PD ingot, and it's a beautiful yellow slash chartreuse color. And I also mulched it and pulled the mulch away from it, and it looks great. The straw mulch is the best thing. Straw is very insulating. So if you've got something that you need to mulch for winter, I would suggest using straw. Right there is PD ingot. It was new to the garden last year. I just pulled the straw off of it the other day, and it looks great. I'm real happy with it. Now, I have a hellebore, a hybrid called Rosemary up at the front that I also covered with straw. Now, it came from, I believe it was North Carolina. It could have been South Carolina. I forget. It was one of the Carolinas. And I had just bought it a couple weeks, I believe it was, maybe a week before we got that severe cold back in mid-January. And I was really concerned about it because while hellebores flower, late winter, early spring, I had my doubts that it could take negative 8.86, which is what it ended up being. I didn't know how cold it was going to be. In fact, as that date drew near, they kept increasing the forecast or decreasing, I should say, increasing the severity from, I think they had originally forecast it like -4, -5. And as the days got closer and closer, they started saying, oh, -6, -7, -8. And they kept increasing the severity of that cold. And I had my doubts as to whether that hellebore that was in bloom when it came was actually going to be able to withstand that. So I, in fact, right before the weather got too terrible, I brought some straw out to it and I covered it. And don't you know those blooms survived that temperature underneath that straw? Isn't that a testament to what a good insulator straw is? So right up here, I'll show it to you. This is a hellebore hybrid called Rosemary. And right there is Rosemary. And Rosemary is a patented variety. And it came from a licensed grower who was selling online. And look here. Let me see if I can get this straw out of the way because there's still some straw around it. Let's see. There's a flower. There's Rosemary's flower. Look how beautiful that is. Flowering right here in the dead of winter. Looking good. Now it does have some tinge to the leaves a little bit, but I cannot complain at all. How many things do you get that look so beautiful this time of year? And here's the straw that I pulled away from it the other day. I didn't leave it covered too long because you leave a hellebore or something like that covered too long, liriope as well, you do run the risk of it getting crown rot. So I didn't want to run that risk. And like I was talking about the other day too, about bamboo, and speaking of mulch, and leaving bamboo leaves where they lie, or lie where they fall. This is Phyllostaches parvifolia. You can see it's starting to drop too, in preparation for for shooting season here. It's dropping all of its wind burnt stuff, but you can see back in here that it has some green foliage left. If you look back in through there, there's some more back in through there, over that way. So while it did wind burn, I don't think Parvifolia top killed, which is pretty awesome. And Atravaginata is looking pretty good too. But and in fact, Atravaginata looks even better than Parvifolia. Let's take a shortcut right quick and go take a look at Atravaginata again, because it's still looking really good. It's dropping some of its leaves as well, but looking really well. I never thought years ago, when I got both Phylostachys parvifolia and Atravaginata, that I would be able to seriously grow any timber species this far north. It's been really impressive with what they've done. And when I initially got them and set them in, you know, they weren't as cold hardy because they were new. They were newly set in. And I rated them on my website a little bit lower, or a little bit less hardy, rather, excuse me, than they are proving to be, because I didn't know how hardy they would be. But they're surprising me. Right here's Phylostachys atravaginata. You can see some of the wind-burnt leaves are dropping, but look back in here. As the wind-burnt leaves are dropping, more green leaves are showing up and becoming more apparent. It's got even more green foliage on it than I thought it initially had after that spell back in January. But check that out. It's got a lot of nice green foliage yet. Pretty impressive. Oh, what's this? I saw something up here. I thought I did. Yes, I did. Oh, I got to show you this. This is exciting. Okay. Bamboo is like bird heaven. I have so many bird nests. And right here is one from last year. Right there is a little bird nest. But birds love this. I have flocks that descend on the garden at night just to roost in the bamboo because it's safe. They know it's safe for them. Not really anything can get them in there, at least not when it's in foliage, maybe a little bit more so when it's wind burnt like this. But when it's in foliage, it's really safe for them because nothing can really get them out of there. Let's see, I wanted to look at some of the bigger stuff back here. Yeah, look, here's this big culm. It's way up here. There's some, if I can get my camera aimed right, I don't know if I'm showing it or not. There's still some partially green leaves right there. There's some there. There's some there. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Here's some up here. There. It's pretty cool that even that big culm didn't top kill. It is wind burnt. It's dropping some leaves. Getting ready for spring. Losing its old wind burnt stuff off there just like it's supposed to. But well, I reckon I'll wrap this up. Thank you for stopping by again. I really appreciate it. Please give me a like, subscribe, and share. I'd really appreciate it. And until next time, thank you for stopping by and take care. Bye.